Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
That's a person. Yeah.
Okay, so a few months ago, I saw this guy in the middle of the ocean,
You okay?
and he was just standing there looking around. This is how far out it was. And then I look a little bit closer at my footage, and look what I see. Like, look at this dolphin. And this has to be Gerald. Watch this. Have you ever seen dolphins do this? So now it all makes sense. Like, look at this dolphin. He's, like, floating on his back. Like, Gerald definitely would do something weird like that. So what I'm thinking happened is they recruited that guy that's in the ocean, and now they're, like, happy because he probably built them an underwater city, and he's, like, floating on their backs now. Dolphins only do that when they're happy and they're, like, playing around. The whole thing was just weird, though, because after I saw the guy, he just completely disappeared, and he never even came out of the water. I didn't know if I was going crazy, so I asked people at the beach if they saw him, and they said yeah, and they saw him go underwater, and they never saw him come up again. And now with the whole Gerald thing coming out, it all makes sense. He was definitely helping them build an underwater city.
I am a veteran of the United States Army. I served my country for 15 years until they medically retired me due to things that happened to me in Iraq. As a soldier who had boots on the ground in a combat zone and witnessed the night sky when things popped off, I am telling you, you all are being lied to about these meteors that are coming into our atmosphere that have now fell over California, over Houston, over Ohio, over Maryland. But oddly enough, the only proof that we have so far of any type of meteor breaking our atmosphere, actual physical proof, is the one that happened in Houston. So I can say out of the 3 events that have happened, possibly one of them is true. Possibly one. This isn't to fearmonger. This isn't to scare anybody. This is to get you to start asking questions and start paying attention to what your government is doing. I need people to put their thinking caps on. Israel and Iran are in some serious, serious shit. And once again, the United States have found themselves smack dab in the middle of Middle Eastern politics. Once again, we are smack dab in the middle of it. And we're on the wrong fucking side of things this time. Now, if you think Iran is bluffing about what they got and what they can do to the United States and to Israel, oh, honey, you are sorely mistaken. And I mean that with my whole fucking chest. As somebody who has been in a combat zone, as somebody who has been over there, as somebody who studies Middle Eastern politics, I'm telling you, you guys, don't take them as an idle threat. And I think, as of right now, our government is trying to find our weak spots. And I need you all to start paying attention, and I need you all to start asking more questions.
Got good food.
What year is it?
Huh?
What year is it in our calendar?
That y'all.
What year is it right now?
Because we use our own calendar.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's 2018.
It's 2018 right now.
Yeah.
And we have 13 months.
What were you doing? Do you remember what you were doing?
No. The government been spying on us. The government been spying on us with roaches.
With roaches?
I swear to God, mama, with roaches.
Roaches, gang.
Why you think in the hood they was always filled with roaches? Everywhere you go in the hood, they've been filled with roaches for a long time, right? Even when you clean your house, the roaches come back. They constantly come back. You couldn't get rid of them. In the hood, nobody could ever tell me, can you get rid of roaches? Your house was clean. You move over here. They say it was in the boxes. They say it was in the eggs. But you can't get rid of the roaches no matter where you go. Listen, I live in a community right now where I'm still the same person, so I leave stuff around a few days. Roaches never show up, right? I'm in a good environment, a good place. I live in a rich community. Roaches never show up no matter how dirty you get. But I'm saying in the community, always there. But they just released files from the CIA saying that they was spying on Iran with roaches.
With roaches.
With roaches.
I'm talking about real live
real
roaches.
Small ass roaches. They took roaches and made tiny backpacks, and they put these backpacks on top of the roaches, right? When they put these backpacks on top of the roaches had microphones on them, had cameras on them, and they sent them in to spy on people. So America never put their foot on the ground. These bitches sending roaches.
If you want to know the power of the tsunami, it's right behind me. This is the tsunami rock in Tonga. A few years ago when there was a big tsunami, this rock was under the ocean. The tsunami brought it all the way from under the ocean and just dropped it here. Look at this. Look at this location. That is mental.
Would you believe me if I told you that oil is actually the second most abundant liquid on Earth? And I have proof. So in the Geneva Convention in 1897, Rockefeller Foundation paid scientists, essentially came up with a way to make petroleum seem scarce and non-renewable. So they coined the term fossil fuel. They determined that this stuff was made out of organic matter that takes anywhere from 10 million to 100 million years to develop. So of course, if it takes tens of millions or hundreds of millions of years for oil to form from decaying matter, then it's non-renewable. It's an extremely scarce resource. We live in a petroleum-based economy. So if you control the extraction process of oil, if you control the flow of oil, you control the entire world. We live under the petrol-based dollar. We live in a petroleum-based economy. If you control the flow of petroleum, you control the entire world. Food production, electricity, everything relies on oil. So the Strait of Hormuz being shut down is going to cause a lot of turmoil for the entire international economy. So brace yourselves, guys. You probably want to learn how to hunt, but I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Palm Beach Pete.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Here's all the evidence we have to confirm that Palm Beach Pete is actually Jeffrey Epstein. Starting off with the first and most obvious piece of evidence, that both of them look identical to each other. Here's a side-by-side picture of the both of them, and you literally cannot tell either of them apart. Next, the both of them literally have the same exact teeth. So as you can see right here, this is Jeffrey Epstein's bottom row of teeth. And then if we go ahead and look at Palm Beach Pete's bottom row of teeth, literally identical to Jeffrey Epstein's. Next, in a recent interview, it was actually revealed that Jeffrey Epstein and Palm Beach Pete actually lived in the same areas at the exact same time. So when Jeffrey Epstein was living in New York, so was Palm Beach Pete. And then when Jeffrey Epstein was living in Florida, so was Palm Beach Pete. And when this was brought up, Palm Beach Pete was literally trying to shush the interviewers. And then finally, every single day now, Palm Beach Pete is uploading videos onto social media saying that he is not Jeffrey Epstein. And in a lot of these videos, a lot of people feel like he's actually trying to gaslight us because he really is actually Jeffrey Epstein.
This is a crazy story. 1964, a man named Jim Templeton. They were at Sawway Firth, which is in Cumbria, England. They went out there. He brought his Kodak camera and just taking pictures of the family. He snapped a couple pictures of his youngest daughter, Elizabeth, and went to the chemist. And the chemist is like, oh, he's like, this picture was really good, but it's ruined because of someone in the background. And he's like, can I see it? And it looks like there's a spaceman standing behind her. He was so bothered by it. He's like, that there should be no one behind her. They're alone in this field. He was so disturbed by it that he went to the police, and the police are like, oh, I mean, we can't do anything about this. So then he went to the newspaper, and it just took off. And so it became the Sawway Firth spaceman because they could not figure it out. They're freaking out about it. Kodak actually put out a reward for anyone that could disprove that or prove that it was altered in any way. No one could do it. Even to this day, no one can do it.
So Candace Owens came out and said she thinks these individuals are hybrids, meaning not human. Very interesting take.
I'm telling you, I don't even think these people are human. Like, I look at Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, and I'm pretty sure they're hybrid. You know what I mean? Like, they just look like an Apple software that I should be able to download at night, you know? Like, my phone's getting an update or something. It's something in the eyes. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm human, but I don't know if I stabbed you if you bleed, you know? I'm not going to stab them. But I don't know if they bleed all the way. I think a battery would fall out. You know what I mean? And I just get that sense. I've always known it was demonic. And people just get on board because, as we talked about in this book, they are using science and this idea of technology and this idea of transforming society for the better to indoctrinate us into accepting this. And it's wrong and it's backwards. And the main component of all of this is psychology. Right? They're able to do it because of psychology, making you think that society has gotten better. Our kids have objectively gotten dumber. We've become fatter. We've become less healthy. We've become less emotionally sound. And yet they are convincing us that this is like humanity's great leap forward.
I mean, go have a conversation with ChatGPT and then watch a video of Elon Musk talking, and you can't tell me they're identical. Like, they're identical, y'all. I'm telling you. Go have a chat with ChatGPT and then go watch a video of Elon Musk talking. They're identical.
Where she's asked about Anthony Weiner in the last 50 seconds. It's a long video. I particularly want to get to like 3. Yep, right there. Let's do it.
My list. That's okay. We're asking all sorts of things here.
You certainly are. You certainly are.
We're just trying to get the truth out to the American people.
Well, that
and
would
get some
be
clarity.
very helpful.
Are you aware of any files that were on Anthony Weiner's laptop in a folder that was titled insurance, life insurance, with a zip file titled frazzled?
The chairman's ruling.
This
is within the scope? Is this within the scope, Mr. Chairman?
The chairman rules that it's not within the scope.
Mr. Chairman, based on what you said in the public hearing, is this within the scope?
We can go off the record for a moment.
Mr. Chairman, is this within the scope?
We'll go off the record and can talk.
Look at those eyes, bro. So no proof of anything there, but we have had many reports about the contents of Anthony Weiner's laptop. And obviously Anthony Weiner was married to Huma Abedin, who was and still is Hillary Clinton's right hand. She's now married to Alex Soros. That's not weird at all. And you know, he's definitely not playing for her team either. It's just, you know, just saying. But that was, I mean, you see her whole body fucking contort, and she came up and got in it like she was ready to fight. And then those eyes before that off record could fucking kill. So
I don't know how these depositions work, but I mean, what's the point of showing us these depositions when the real questions come that can change the world? They can just say we're going off record and shut the camera off and shut the microphone off, and then they come back and talk about something nonsense. Like, what's the point? What's the point of even showing us these things if when it push gets to shove and the real questions start getting answered, they just say we're going off record, shut the camera off. The people will never see this. You know, what's the point?
They are all lying to you, and here is your proof. Be right back.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pay for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain. Short-term spike for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain for American consumers. We may have to deal with that in the short term.
Short-term and temporary.
Temporary, short-term pain.
It's going to suck in the short term.
Some short-term pain. Short-term pain. We have to focus on the short-term.
Short-term.
Short-term. Short-term. Short-term and long-term.
Short-term.
Make sure you get this out there like wildfire. Here's the problem. Mostly everybody in America is brainwashed. Fear-mongering, right? No, it's the truth. And they say, oh, you're watching the wrong news station. It's all of them. Don't y'all remember what Operation Mockingbird is? We'll get to this in 1 second. Let me make this clear for people who still believe their TV screen. If you don't have independent journalists on the ground in these locations, you're going to be out of the loop and completely unaware of anything that's happening. I have those things, and so do other people. There is no right media station. But yeah, shoot the messenger as always.
You know, this next election process, the left's going to do something crazy to get their voters back. But my prediction with this next election cycle, it's going to be a record low voting, right? I think a lot of people are giving up on this nonsense. Trump was the last time we were like, all right, we're going to get it back. When he was there last time, we had low gas prices. The interest rate was low. Everything he promised, right? Complete opposite. I think this go around, people are going to be like, I ain't even going to go vote. Like, what's the point? You know, what's the point? I'm thinking, unless the left comes through and does something crazy, which they always do, or the right's going to do something crazy, which they always do to divide us more. So we're like, we got to go in. I think there's going to be a record low of voters out there this next election cycle.
You just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks meaning what?
we're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace.
When it falls, we're gonna have peace. When they say peace and safety. Parallels as always. Get this out there. Let me know what you think. Why do all these people still believe what's on their TV screen?
Back in the 70s, the Rand Corporation published a paper describing what is called a magneto-leviton train that could be installed either on the surface or underground, and that would operate in a vacuum tube. It didn't run on a rail, rather it was using the electromagnetic force. In the paper, they described how they could build this train. They said that they could go coast to coast. I think it was half an hour or 40 minutes from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. I'm very persuaded that we did build that train system, but we built it underground and in secret.
Proof that Hollywood is evil.
This whole image is just totally overblown. I have the heart of a small boy. I keep it in a jar on my desk.
I bet you get a lot of mileage out of that one.
I have never used that line before in my entire life.
Okay. Watch the telephone cable there. You know? The one thing, too, that's interesting, though, is that
That clip from an interview with author Stephen King literally sent shivers down my spine. What makes it even weirder is this is the creator of Pennywise the Clown and the It series. It states here, It, created by Stephen King, is an ancient, shape-shifting, extraterrestrial entity from a void called the Macroverse, which feeds on human fear, particularly children. For years, people have speculated hypothetically that Hollywood is an extremely dark place. Back in the 1980s, when that interview was actually from, nobody thought anything more of that besides it being a weird joke. But looking back at a clip like that through the lens of 2026 and everything we're finding out now, it really makes you think. For entertainment purposes only, comment below with your thoughts and opinions. Am I on to something, or am I tripping this time? Wake up.
Goes all the way to Washington, D.C., huh? Yeah, you security? Yeah. How far have you actually ran a load? 100 miles? Up to Maine? No shit. How many miles do you think that is? Unbelievable. What do you think you're hauling? Any idea? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know there's been a lot of military stuff being hauled around lately, that's for sure, huh? Gotcha. And this is stocked with food, water, everything they need. It's an underground city. The north entrance, and we're going to go see if we can do some more digging.
Man, like, that's where our tax dollars are going, y'all, for their getaway. And it might not be for them, it might be for their grandkids' getaway that are running the show, or that's where our tax dollars are going, because we give too much money for this crap that we have outside our door. It is crap out there. Public transportation, the filthiness, it's crap. The schools, the food they're feeding, like, we should be abundant. That's where our tax dollars are going. I mean, they've even come out and say it. There's been ex-CIA people coming out and saying that's where your tax dollars are going. They say it right there on the podcast. And we just, first, here we go. Paycheck, take 50%.
All right, this may be one of the worst ones that I've found yet. Let me learn you something this morning. Check this out. This is a windshield repair kit. There's 0.025 fluid ounces in this container, okay? It costs $22 per unit, right? So to get a gallon of this fluid, which is 128 fluid
It's
ounces,
all profit.
you'd have to have 5,120 of these to make a single gallon. At $22 a piece, that would make this $113,000 per gallon of windshield
It's
repair
all
kit.
profit.
Can somebody please explain to me why this fluid is $113,000 per gallon?
Videos.
Or the price of somebody's home in the United States?
They always show you who they are. This is Jay-Z's latest photo shoot with GQ. And what do you notice about this photo shoot? Yeah, that's right. He decided to cover up one of his eyes in this photo shoot. And if you know, you know
Are you
what
surprised?
that represents.
Is this a
And
shock?
this photo right here looks absolutely demonic in and of itself. You have the red and the black, and then him dressed in all black. This looks absolutely demonic. And I don't know what's going on right here in this photo, but this looks absolutely demonic also. Because, once again, they always show you, as I stated earlier, who they are. Every single time. But it's no surprise with Jay-Z, because let's not forget, he loves to showcase this hand sign right here also. And let's not forget that he has had associations with people like Diddy, and the list goes on. People really need to wake up.
He mentioned the firmament. He also mentioned there's a wall in Alaska you can't get past. So if we are in a dome, then how is it that they can bring a moon or build a moon and put it up? Or is it just inside the dome with us?
Bingo.
Okay.
You think the moon is 250,000 miles away where we see the encrustments on it?
Right.
You can see it with the naked eye. It's 250,000 miles away.
Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit. Remember that one boy?
Now listen to this. I have to tell you this. After I left the party, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploited questions, backsided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? She goes, oh, well, I think something happened. I think something. I'm like, that man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all night. Got a couple hours of sleep. I wake up. He's not even in the room. Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me. And it was hilarious because he was very charming. I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like,
You feel like the music industry is heading in a good or bad direction?
It's always going to be in a good direction. Let's just keep it a buck. It's the way the industry runs that makes people wonder if it's a demon culture and all of this shit. Some of them songs you love came from real people, really creative people that are good at what they do. Now, the other parts come from other talented, really creative people that know what the fuck they're doing. And they're the ones that's saying, here, play this record. No, this is the way we're going to get people to look at it, marketing-wise. Financially, this is going to work. No, wear this hat, wear this color as opposed to that. But then the power shift happens so quick that the artist really thinks that they're in power. But how many retired, or not even retired, but old entertainers or artists that left with the bag? Not many of them.
Not many of them.
But you still got your Jimmy Iovine's, you still got your Clive Davises, Leor Cohen's, all of these people still got to the bag. And they didn't write a song. Not one. They didn't make a beat.
All the strings.
Right? They just saw your vision and said, let me help you along the way to reaching a goal. Not your goal, a goal. And once that goal was met, the ball's in your hand. However you want to handle it, you handle it.
Is all of this planned in advance, long in advance? Like, I'm talking decades ago. You may be thinking, what are you talking about? This is the scene from the Atlanta airport this morning of a 4-hour wait to get into the freaking security line because the TSA, right now, it's a partial government shutdown. So none of them really are getting paid. And so what's happening now, though, is you saw the movie Leave the World Behind, right? The planes are falling out of the sky. What if that was like an allegory for air travel being no longer a thing? Because while here, there's these massive waits, there's massive delays, 6-hour delays of planes not being able to fly on a clear sunny day because of just all these different problems. The question is, on the other side of the world, there's all these cancellations, but it's due to fuel. It's like the perfect storm happening right now. And if you know anything about the little bit of a plan they might have for 2030, it involves, let's just say, there being less air travel. You know that the airlines, too, they're all losing a ton of money over all this. And apparently their margins are already pretty slim because they weren't hedging fuel costs. So as the fuel cost goes up and these insane delays happen, like all these companies might go freaking bankrupt. Now, if we can just release Nikola Tesla's technology, we wouldn't be in this problem at all. But it seems that there might be a bit of a plan going on. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Okay, say what you just said again.
I do not understand why we need ICE in airports. If their stated purpose is to deport the undocumented, who have you ever met that has flown without documentation?
It's a really good point. We looked it up. I looked it up. I was like, wait. And it said that you could do it with like a consular ID.
Oh yeah, all those undocumented consulates that are coming from overseas. Yeah, happens all the time.
Right. You're here undocumented, and then you go to get your consular ID for
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job, ICE. You're where we need you, baby.
Crazy conversations that people have these days, right? Like, crazy conversations.
Wait, try eating no food or one meal a day. You're gonna have way more energy. Food was made by the elites.
Believe it, y'all.
To make you slow down. All the richest people in the world, they barely eat.
Always eating in and
This
out.
shit was made by the higher ups, the elites, to slow motherfuckers down.
I've heard Eric.
I believe it, y'all. Because lately I've been kind of just not hitting my calories, right? You're so told, like, if you don't hit your calories on everything, if you don't hit your calories, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be tired, you're going to be late. Y'all, I haven't been hitting nowhere near my calories I'm supposed to be hitting. I've been feeling good. I've been feeling energetic. I've been clear-minded. And the more I'm starting, it's just a scam, y'all. It's a scam. For one, everyone needs food. We need to buy food. So why are they going to tell us don't eat, 1,500 calories a day? You need to eat at least 2,000 calories a day, at least, right? That's what they base everything off, 2,000. They're not going to tell. Like, think about it. Think about it with everything else in this world, profit, all that, marketing. They're not going to tell us you need once a day. You're going to feel great. No, you need to eat 5 small meals a day.
Got a dick. I heard that one.
Whoa, well, she seems thrilled right now.
She's an odd duck.
She's a kook for sure.
You ever seen the compilation of her making crazy eyes?
No.
There's a video of her making demon eyes, and every time she makes the eyes, the music. It's so ridiculous.
She's possessed.
But she just gets intense.
She seems she's having a good time. Well, she was on a reality show,
Yes.
So she's a star.
A little bit.
Maybe.
She was also in some weird CIA documents or CIA films.
Is that right?
Like, yeah. You ever seen those films?
No.
See if you can find those films. There's some weird, like, internal films that they made that she was a part of.
She looks like if a pageant girl was grown up.
100%.
There, look at that.
Yeah, well, I mean, she essentially was a pageant lady.
Oh, really?
Right? Wasn't she in, like, Miss USA or one of those things?
I don't know. Maybe.
Wasn't she,
She's
Jenny?
got that kind of face.
Oh, I don't. Well, there's a thing that people want, right? That attention, fame thing.
Yeah.
That is what they really want. Okay, so Jamie will find it.
Vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information, and when we go over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
Well, there are 18 critical infrastructures.
It's weird, but
very weird. She's doing a CIA informational video.
Weird. An acting gig, or is this something else?
Perhaps. Or, but even so, you're doing an acting gig for the CIA.
Like, think about what are the chances of this, y'all? What are the chances of this? She does these CIA things. One of the biggest assassinations, you want to call it, that's happened in a very long time was her man. Now she took over all that. Like, what are the chances of this? Like, what if you put it in a thing? What is the probability chance of all this going to be? She was a pageant connected to Trump. They met in Israel. She done CIA videos. What are the chances of the biggest assassination that's happened in a very long time being connected with her, married to her, children with her? What are the chances of that? Either he was an industry plant or she's an industry plant. One of those two, right? One of those two.
Who calls you for that?
Yeah.
You ever get one of those calls?
No.
No, I never got one of those calls.
And my agent never hit me with that one.
Yeah. It's odd. Well, there's a lot of people that think that she was his handler. She was Charlie Kirk's handler. But of course, there's a lot of people that think I have antlers.
Again, he's just speaking common sense. And I love that he addressed particularly the CIA documentary because they came out and they were suddenly trying to gaslight us and were, well, the CIA didn't produce the documentary. Okay, yes, but the head of the CIA is in it. Okay, you gotta get approval from the CIA to be in a CIA documentary. That doesn't just happen casually. Like he says, are you getting that phone call from your agent? And no, she's not acting. She's specifically referring to her mother's business model, EMPs. So she's not acting. She's involved. And so people, of course, online were so angry about it. The Israel Firsters, Mark Levin, tweeted this. Is this some AI production? If not, what a total disgrace. Then this Eitan Fishberger said, this is some sick stuff from Joe Rogan, as if Erica hasn't been through enough already. How about just acknowledging that you do not have the power to transform reality? Just you're losing this repeat battle to try to tell us that up is down and down is up. And everybody can sense that something is not right with Erica. Everybody can sense that it is not normal for somebody to lie. It's not normal for an organization to be angry, even if Joe Kent had released every single message and said, this is what Charlie was going through. How would that hurt Erica? Somebody explain how that would hurt Erica to get closer to determining what was going on in his life in the last few days, especially when people are lying. None of this would be weird if Josh Hammer came out and was like, dang, we were, he was pretty fired up the day before. I feel so bad. That was our last conversation. If they were honest about what happened in the Hamptons. It happens. You get into arguments with people. If I got into an argument with somebody and the police asked me, I wouldn't be up there like, we never had any issues at all. We never even had one miscommunication. No, that is, he just loved me every second of nothing was weird. I would be like, oh my gosh, we had a massive fight yesterday. Here are the messages. I feel so terrible. Are you kidding me? Gosh, life can be taken from any moment. They don't know how to just be normal and not lie. Just tell the truth. And don't get upset if you believe somebody else is telling the truth. And that's what they're angry about. They're angry that Joe Kent is echoing what everyone has said. We all told the truth instantly. I told you the truth based off of my discussions with Charlie about where his headspace was at when it came to Israel. I didn't need Joe Kent for that. I didn't even know Joe Kent at all. Had never had a single communication with Joe Kent until after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That is the honest to God truth. I didn't know this man at all. And so this whole idea that everyone's colluding to tell the truth. Megyn Kelly told the truth. Tucker Carlson told the truth. And you guys hate us for that. You guys want us canceled and attacked for...
You ever wonder what oil is? People say, well, it's fossil fuel. But you ever wonder, like, fossil fuel, is it like everything that has died has seeped into the ground and then made like a death soup? You ever wonder? And then we put it in our car. We have like death soup running through our engine, and then out of our tailpipe. You ever wonder?
It'll give you some thick skin. I hate every day being here, but it's for my family.
Think when you go home you'll be able to turn it off?
I hope so. I really do. My fiance's really worried I'm not going to come back the same. I'll never tell her what things I did here. I'll never tell anybody. I shot 12 guys since I've been here. I joined the Marine Corps at 17. I graduated high school a year early to do this shit.
You glad you did?
No, if I could take it back, I wouldn't do it. I had a full ride scholarship out of high school, but I joined the Marine Corps instead.
Why'd you do that?
My pops always told me it's my duty to serve my country as a young American. So he was killed when I was 12, so I figured I'd do what he told me to do.
You have also stated in previous interviews that American soldiers' body parts began showing up at the base gate in trash bags.
What hurts me the most about the trash bags, I'm talking to one of the spouses whose body parts were in that trash bag, and she can't use trash bags. She just can't use trash bags anymore to think of that. I don't know what the delivery was for. I don't know if it was to give them back, and that's just the only way to do it after they hacked them apart and drug them to the street. But, and that's sad when that's how you identify people, is in body parts in trash bags delivered to your front gate. I think it might have been something to try to appease us, to slow us down from what I think they knew would be hell unleashing that we wanted to. But it certainly angered everyone.
Are you scared of sharks? I don't like sharks for sure, but just like anything in special operations, if they say do it, you're just going to do it blindly. I've been forced into some weird scenarios. Sharks have definitely been involved. And it's just one of those things, like, you just see everybody doing it. I know it rings back to what your mom said. If all your friends jump off a bridge, you going to do it too? Yep. As long as the first one waves once he hits the water. And they did. So we all did it. I mean, we did one, we jumped in Australia, and that was one of the sketchiest things I've ever done. Australia has a lot of great white sharks. A lot. In the place we were jumping into, we were doing the jump master brief, and we were jumping this big harbor, and they pull up the plot, and we're all looking at it, and there's all these red dots that are moving around. And I'm like, are they gonna clear all the boats out of the way? Like, so we can land, like there's a lot of traffic. And he's like, yeah, those aren't boats. And so what are they? He's like, those are tagged sharks. Oh dear. Those are tagged sharks. Right in the middle of the bay. Here we go. Jumped right in the middle of it. So yeah, pretty cool.
That's
Nothing happened.
terrifying.
Yeah. You don't even think about it. You don't even think about it. You hit the water, it's like, get your stuff off as fast as you can, get in the boat and let's go. Like, you don't even have time to think about it. But no, I most certainly don't like sharks, and I've had a couple things really bump me in the big black ocean where nothing should have been left and right of me, and it freaks you out. I don't know if it's a manatee. I don't really know. I don't really care.
Can you
Reach
imagine?
Up, there's nothing there. Oh my
Pitch
God.
dark,
Okay, here we
you
go.
get
Let's go.
bumped in the ocean.
So it is a one piece. Yeah.
Take a video.
Oh, video is another
Take
Kodak.
a picture for
It's
me.
another Kodak moment.
Kodak moment.
You know, so this part has to derotate underneath. So it's one piece. It's one.
So is this the aorta candle?
Yeah.
That's nice. We're amazing.
Mr. Krabs and his band of jolly mindless fools stalk Bikini Bottom by night for delicious victims. Then drag their lifeless bodies back to the kitchen and grind them into grinders.
Look, we need to talk about SpongeBob and why it is the most unhinged cartoon on TV. It's technically aimed at 6 to 11-year-olds, but if you look at what they're showing in plain sight, it's basically psychological horror. The conspiracies got so dark that Reddit actually started tracking the banned episodes that N tried to scrub. There's one that was banned for a real-life event that happened. You all know which one I mean, and don't even get me started on the theory that Krusty Krab is a lobster trap and the secret ingredient is actually the people. Just look at the patterns and then look at what's come out in real life. This is honestly disturbing. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
There's a hidden world underneath Chicago, and some people believe humans are living down there. I'm not talking about homeless people, I'm talking about people who never come back up. Chicago has an entire underground system beneath the city, old freight tunnels, abandoned subway lines, and even secret pathways under downtown. Some of these tunnels date back over 100 years, and most of them are completely off limits. But urban explorers who've gone down there say they've seen signs of people living deep inside, not near the entrances, but far into the darkness. We're talking makeshift homes, graffiti that looks like warnings, and noises echoing through the tunnels that should be empty. Some explorers even claim they've heard footsteps behind them when no one is there, and others say they've seen people watching them from the shadows before disappearing deeper underground. The creepiest part, Chicago's tunnel system is so massive that nobody actually knows how far it goes, which means if people really are living down there, we have no idea how many there are or what they've become. So next time you're walking through downtown Chicago, just remember, something might be walking beneath you. Anyway, this is Hella Scary Stories, and if you're enjoying my spooky content, please support me by hitting that follow button, liking, sharing, and commenting. Thank you.
This just doesn't make sense. How does Taylor Swift have a commercial in 1981? And there's a part of me that's even scared to show you this video because I don't know what to believe anymore. And even though they're gonna kick me off for even showing you this, I have to show you. But look, Taylor Swift is an icon. I mean, she's been doing this for years. World renowned as one of the best, dropping countless top 100 Billboard hits. But something doesn't add up here. How she was actually born in 1989. So then when glamour dolls were around, they were supposed to rival even the Bratz dolls and the Barbie dolls. So then why was Taylor Swift in this commercial?
The Glamour Gals collection. Dolls, party place, fancy fireworks, the show place collector's kit, each sold separately.
This is what I say, y'all. Like, what are the chances of these? What are the chances of these? Just interesting plans.
You can send in trips and purchase from any 3 Glamour Gals dolls. Jessie, Danny, Bonnie, or Shara in any of 3 outfits. And get Jessie in fancy formal free. Details are on the specially marked packages. Offer expires on March 1st, 1982. Glamour Gals
Oh, this was the
Collection,
80s.
Jessie and Beautiful Bride.
Something that truly lives in my mind rent-free are the footprints at the White Sands National Park in New Mexico. These footprints force scientists to finally accept that people were in the Americas a lot earlier than they thought. And the story these footprints tell is hauntingly human. 23,000 years ago, White Sands National Park was this vast, lush landscape of grasslands, and it was teeming with animals that no longer exist. Mammoths, giant ground sloths, direwolves, American camels, and humans walking along the shoreline, leaving footprints in the mud that would survive for over 20 millennia. Only in 2009 did scientists properly excavate the site, and what they uncovered was truly exciting. 61 human tracks left by up to 16 different people, and the sediment between those layers contained the seeds of a grassy plant, which scientists carbon dated to between 21,000 and 23,000 years ago. Here's why this is such a big deal. For the longest time, scientists believed that humans didn't arrive in the Americas until around 13,000 years ago, because 23,000 years ago, the world was experiencing the last glacial maximum. As temperatures dropped, a pair of massive ice sheets formed a nearly continuous wall of ice spanning across Canada. It was literally like the wall in Game of Thrones. Scientists argue that there was no way that humans could have possibly crossed into the Americas with this massive ice wall in the way. But the White Sands footprints provide strong evidence that humans were already in the Americas during the height of the Ice Age and not after it. And yet, scientists still refused to believe it and wanted a second carbon dating to confirm. The researchers did one better and confirmed the date with 2 different methods: carbon dating and a technique called optically stimulated luminescence, which determines when minerals were last exposed to daylight. The date from the luminescence matched those from the radiocarbon method. So 3 independent lines of evidence, all pointing to the same answer. White Sands is unlike any other archaeological site. It's not just that humans were here, it's the stories that these footprints tell. Bones and tools tell you what existed, but footprints tell you what they were actually doing. There are tracks of hunters following a giant ground sloth so closely that their prints sometimes land in the sloth's own tracks. You can even see where the sloth spun around and cut itself with its tail like a tripod. But the most poignant tracks run straight for nearly a mile, belonging to a small woman or a teenager carrying a small child on their hip. You can see where they slipped in the mud at certain points. Child's footprints were when they placed the child down. Based on the size of the footprints, the child seemed less than 3 years old and didn't continue with the adolescent on the return journey. So did they drop the child somewhere with someone else? Were they fleeing something? We don't know. But what we do know is that White Sands gives us a precious snapshot in time from 23,000 years ago. A view through the looking glass into a life separate from us in time, but also so familiar in every other way.
But what they're saying is they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know what the hell. They don't want to believe it. Even though they see it, proof, they don't want to believe it. Nah, it's not real. We've only been here 12,000 years. Even though that says 21,000 or more, they don't know, y'all. They don't know. They don't know nothing about the ocean, about space, about our freaking land. They don't know nothing. They try to act like they do and tell us this and put it in our textbooks and all that, but at the end of the day, they don't know nothing.
Oh, a study was done to figure out exactly what happens to your body when you have Celtic salt in the morning with a half glass of water, and the findings
I have salt every morning
are
with water.
wild. Tell me more! Yeah, this is awesome. The study was done where they took a group of people that had Celtic salt in the morning with a half glass of water, and what happened next was awesome. They figured out, first of all, that most people in the morning don't have all the minerals their body needs because of course, the time they were sleeping, it depletes. And our body needs 92 minerals, where the Celtic salt has most of these minerals, not everything, but just about all of them. So when they have this in the morning, their body actually gets hydrated because it pulls the water into the cells. But not only that, now they are restoring the minerals that their body needs to function as a normal human being throughout the day. This helped people wake up much faster in the morning and also gave them better energy throughout the day. Okay.
There's a concrete pyramid just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. It's way bigger than it looked from the road, and those panels up there look almost black. There's an entrance built into the base, looks sealed, but that's the way in.
It's darker inside than I expected. Once I step in, there's no view back.
The air feels different in here, it's colder, and the sound just changed.
It keeps going, this place is much deeper than it looked from outside.
This is dark. This must be the core of it. It's massive inside.
It's an AI video.
There's more below, but once I go down, I might not see daylight again.
Someone said the Smithsonian must have missed one. Look at what this person finds in this crevice while in Meteor, Greece. A giant skull that fell down who knows how long ago. And if you look, they're about 100 yards away from this crevice. So that head is estimated to be twice the size of a human skull, which is exactly how many different ancients described the size of some giants. Twice the size, some were 3 times the size, double rows of teeth. Look at this freaking thing, dude. Giant skull found in Greece. And guess what? The ancient Greeks talked all about freaking giants. Also note, you can't really get up here. This isn't part of the tour. It's kind of a spire sticking up out of the ground. And furthermore, the person who uploaded this said that God guided their gaze to this spot. They saw it with their eyes first, and then they said, hold on a sec, zoom in. It's a freaking giant skull. And by the way, before you think, that's impossible, dude, look up the newspaper articles since the 1800s. There's been hundreds of articles about giant bones, giant skulls, everything found, boom, bang, bang, all across the United States, all across Europe, let alone the ancient texts, like the Bible, and even the Quran talks about it. I'm pretty sure even the freaking Talmud mentions giants. It was common knowledge back then. Cain and Abel, you got Jack and the Beanstalk. How many fairy tales? I'm just reading fairy tales now, and I'm seeing that so many of them are talking about giants. Fairy tale. They duped us, man. People thinking giants didn't exist or weren't real, yada yada. They freaking were, but the problem is that if you find out that giants are legit, it'll make you question the official narrative of how history unfolded, and their whole charade falls down. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow for more.
So a streamer named Sam Frank, who decided to start using her platform to speak more about God and Christ, was recently on stream when her friend told her she was a Gemini. Check out her reaction.
Birthday?
June 3rd, Gemini.
No. You're a daughter of Christ.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Is horoscopes... What?
Astrology is like witchcraft.
You're lying. Come on. Come on, not even astrology? What if it's for fun?
God created the sun and the stars and the moon. Why would you need something else to tell you?
Yeah, but think about it. What if the stars and the moon he created and then he had intentions for those stars and moons and skies?
No, you only find your identity in Christ Jesus. You don't find it in stars, signs, or anything. That's actual witchcraft.
Listen, I want to say this, guys, because some people will be like, well, you know, the stars and the suns and moon was used in the Bible for different things. Yeah, different times, different seasons, different signs. The sun, the stars, the moons, they can be used. What it's not going to tell you is exactly who you are as a human being. That's witchcraft. Manipulation is a form of witchcraft. If you are somebody who was born in June and you see that it says you're a Gemini and you start to form your life to be exactly what it says you are, or you automatically think, oh, that's me. That's actually who I actually am. Yeah, so is a lot of different other zodiac signs if you would have read them too. Stop forming your life to be what this demonic zodiac sign says you are, because you're not that. You're a child of God. You've been lied to. You've been manipulated and brainwashed, and you've been in witchcraft as long as you've been believing that. Come out of that trash.
I don't know how people have the courage to live in the Appalachian Mountains, but I will never. Anytime I see a video about the Appalachian Mountains, whenever I go to sleep, this shit always pops up in my dream. That's how I know that shit is evil. I just saw a video of a lady that lives in the Appalachian Mountains. Her and her daughter were scared out of their minds. Now, mind you, her daughter is downstairs by herself. She keeps hearing a voice scream her name. Now, and if you know anything about the Appalachian Mountains, you know when you hear a voice, if you hear a voice, you are not supposed to answer that voice. If you are inside and you hear that voice, you are not supposed to open your door to that voice. So the voice keeps on screaming. Then the voice changes into the girl's father's voice. Y'all ain't just hear what I just said, right? The voice she heard was her father's voice. She ran upstairs and told her mom. Her mom, panicking, calls the father on the phone. She's on the phone with the father. While she's on the phone with the father, she hears the same exact voice. And then out of nowhere, she heard footsteps coming up her stairs, running up her stairs. So the father, who's on the phone, is like, yo, listen, I'm on my way home. Stay in the room. Do not come out the room. This lady recorded this video where something was banging on the door. Banging. When I say banging, I mean banging. Boom, 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 boom on the door. I might have to start a series on this shit because this shit is the scariest shit I could have ever seen. These Appalachian Mountain stories are the scariest stories I could have ever heard. I don't understand why people live there. I don't understand how people live there. But I would never. I'm out.
I went into Songdung, which is the world's largest cave. You can fit New York City skyscrapers inside of it. It's so big. It has its own weather system.
What?
Yeah, there's a person standing on top of that little pyre right there for
oh
scale.
My God.
Yeah.
That's insane.
More people have summited Everest than have been through that cave.
Where is this?
It's in the Annamite mountain range between Vietnam and Laos. That was only discovered in 1995. It's this massive opening, 6 miles of underground cave. You don't see daylight for 2 days. There's full lake systems in there. Those are little tents.
I mean, that's inside the cave?
Yeah.
This is karma. You have literally ruined a generation of not only women's lives, but men's lives too. Men that lost their relationships, men that lost all their money, that turned into pornography addicts. You know, they can't get a girlfriend because all the girls are fucking whores now, online fucking prostitutes. It's fucking pathetic. All of them should go to prison, and you're gonna burn in hell, you fucking prick.
I know a guy who is very close to the Obama administration, right? And he says some of the things he learned made him not want to live anymore. There's a Cosmic Kev interview with a guy who has family in the CIA said his exact same words. He said if people knew what existed at the bottom of the ocean, they want to kill themselves. They wouldn't want to be alive anymore. What could that be?
What could it be?
Right. What could that be?
Breaking news out of Australia, many people are wondering how utterly useless their government is, which they give about 50% of their money to every single year, for completely dropping the ball when a few bombs drop in the Middle East and now their country is upside down and out of fuel. Grocery stores are running dry, shelves are empty, gas prices are through the roof if you can even get it. And keep in mind, if the business of the government is they get money to make sure like roads can be traveled on and there's services around, and they get that much money, and a few disruptions happen in the Strait of Hormuz, despite Australia producing 70% of its own oil in the 1970s, it really makes you wonder if they are this incompetent or if there's anything malevolent going on. Because now people are worried about a food shortage because farmers aren't getting their fertilizer and they're not getting their diesel to run all their tractors. So let me ask you, what do you think's going on?
I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, not all animals are extinct. Look at this, bro.
In Mexico, cartel's got one of those.
Oh my God, bro, I'm telling you, but y'all might say, oh, this is fake. I don't believe this is fake. I truly believe they got animals that we don't know. They're hiding animals that are not extinct. They say it is, but they're in a cage like this. Look. They're something like this, in Area 51 somewhere. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
He's headed our way.
And they throw clips like this. I truly believe they do this by purpose. They throw these clips to make us think, to make us wonder, to see what reaction we will get. I truly believe they still have this animal. I truly believe that they still have a lot of animals that they say are extinct. Let me know what y'all think, man.
Watch this.
Yeah.
It's like Godzilla.
That is a dinosaur.
They'll be right on him. Oh yeah.
Well, this last one is quick. It just says, I'm tired and I want to go home. This show is very long and there's no pizza. Signed, the kid from Hamlet. He's right.
I'm seeing this pizza clip go viral. It's from the 2026 Oscars. Here's the part that actually sits wrong with me. Even though it's a joke about the 2014 Ellen moment,
I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I'm going to order some pizza? That's what I'll do.
why is the script always the same? Why is pizza and the kid always a punchline in these elite events? Sometimes they want you to think it's a funny joke. They want you to think it's a mistake, but it's hidden in plain sight. Is this just a coincidence, or is it a pattern that we've always seen over and over again since uncovering all these different clips from interviews and old television? What do you think? Is this reaching? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
I don't know if it's reaching, but like they know what this is associated with, right? The people that supported them, that got them to the level they're at, that went and watched their movies, that watched their shows, that whatever, right? Think this of that. And they're still doing it. They're still saying it. They're still poking fun at it, whether it's real or whether it's not. You know, even if it's not real, the fact that the people think that of that and you're still going to do it lets me know it's real. Lets me know it's real.
Something's going on with the animals in San Diego. And before you guys call me a cuckoo caca crazy loco person, let me just explain. Also, if you're new here, I literally summon dolphins.
Are you kidding me?
I just feel super connected to animals. And let me explain why I think something's going on, something weird is going on with the animals, specifically in San Diego. So first off, yesterday I was down by the beach and I see a baby sea lion running out of the water towards the cliff and trying to climb up, trying to go to the train tracks, which is so weird because it's the beach right in front of my house and I've never seen a seal, a baby seal, look so terrified
San Diego
and wanting to get out of the water. People were trying to guide it back into the water, but this little baby did not want to go back into the water. Okay, so that was the first thing that happened yesterday. This all happened in the same day. Second, I've been in this apartment for years and I've never experienced what I experienced yesterday. You can call me dramatic, whatever, I don't care. I'm just sharing my experience. So, I see a giant cockroach, okay? We don't have cockroaches in our building. We've never seen them years, right? Cockroach in our building. We're like, how did you get here? Whatever. That plus the seal was a little weird. Anyways, I am going into my drawer, getting ready for bed in my bedroom. I hear what sounds like a giant bug, like almost like a big piece of plastic hit my wall. What is it? It's a giant dragonfly. I've never seen one in my apartment like that. This dragonfly looked terrified. Maybe because, yes, I know you're going to say, oh, he flew into your window, which he probably did, okay? I just want to feel a little whimsical and be like, yeah, they're communicating to me that something weird is happening, and they're warning me, okay? Just let me be whimsical. In short, all the animals were coming inside. All the animals were coming inside, and they were running away from something. I'm whimsical, okay? And the energy felt as if they were trying to tell me, I don't want to be outside right now. Something's going on. I want to go inside. I'm not safe. I'm going inside. I really hope this reaches the target audience and not the ones and be like, oh my gosh, grippy sock holiday. No, I'm fine. Has anybody else in San Diego experienced some weird animal stuff recently? Whimsical people only.
The Luciferians cast a spell on the world. And,
for real?
Oh, absolutely. It's just like how vampires can't go into a house unless they're invited. They tell you, what's going on ahead of time. It's predictive programming. And once you say it out loud and you put it out there and make fun of it and do a little skit, like Stephen Colbert did a little skit on his show where, oh, here's a baby. I'm going to take this baby and I'm going to give it to Moloch. And he goes into like a cloudy red, furnace and hands the baby over and the baby's going to be fine. And they make a joke about it and the audience laughs. Okay, we're all now conditioned to it. We've all seen it, and by laughing at it,
But
and
wait a minute.
we were complicit.
You think that's on purpose, that this is like some sort of a grand design to get us to be desensitized to the idea of demons?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
For sure. And
who do you
by the
think-
way,
but it's
nobody's doing anything about it. We know what's happening.
But that has to take, like, there has to be a person or some group of people.
Yeah, like about
that is-
8,500 people. Yeah.
That are manipulating the Colbert Show?
They're manipulating everything. It's all an illusion.
Look in the camera and say, no, man, you have changed like a lot of the, not just the narratives, but there's things that you will say, and I'm not even a comment reader. And if I just scroll down, it's like people say, oh yeah, Cat was right. Cat tried to warn us. Cat tried to tell us. All right. Had you ever went to a Diddy party? Like I'm talking about not what it turned out to be, but I'm talking about like when he would have the NBA All-Star party. None of those.
Yeah, so to quickly answer your question and to not say anything that would infringe legally, yeah, a lot of people indeed do ask that. Like, how do you know what goes on at the P. Diddy party if you weren't at the P. Diddy party, But
oh, no, that's not what I'm asking. No, because there were different levels of parties too, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like some shit at the Palladium or some shit like that. I ain't talking about like some at the crib type of shit.
No, I see how that's gonna be clipped. That was just as good as Shannon's "Come on, man."
I didn't
when
even
you
get
went,
that.
what? Diddy what? I wasn't asking you about that. I didn't ask you about a file.
Come on, Cat.
Come on. Yeah. So one of the jokes that I discussed on the tour is the fact that they would have these parties in the Hollywood Hills, and then they would have a parking lot where they would shuttle people up. So everybody would meet in this parking lot and they would send shuttles down to, Diddy's parties. And so I wasn't ever invited to the parties, but I was invited to the parking lot because I knew the people that ran the shuttle service. You knew them too, as it turned out. But yeah, I would go to the parking lot and I would watch them all go up there. And, they would be thinking I'm coming later. I would just be on the car having a grand old time, smoking and laughing and watching everybody who's going. And yeah, so you can't tell me what goes on because 5 hours later, I'm still in the parking lot when they come down. And, just to see all them big time Hollywood men that I just watched go up there, they all come down off the shuttle and looking sad in the eyes, and all of them wearing Sean John and looking oily, and they all walk crazy like this, and their shoelaces were always untied. I don't know why. Their shoelaces were always untied. And then they would get in their car and they would drive off standing up, big boy, with their head out there. All of them. And I couldn't believe it. But one of the highlights of my Hollywood career, but you can't tell me because I was there to see on both ends.
Hey, man, you know what's wild up there? I'm wondering how many people would think, oh, man, these are jokes.
None of the people that was on the shuttle.
Right.
And they the only ones I care about. That's why I said when I be going in places, heads go down. That's because not because nobody else know.
No, I remember you saying that when you walked in, heads go down.
Right.
God damn.
Because you can't really be mad at me because I probably been faithful too. I probably knew that this whole time about you and I didn't say nothing. That gives you a certain level of gravitas as well, you know? Is that Will Smith know the story I have not told, you know? So it keeps everybody honest, you know? Eddie Murphy know what I haven't said, you see?
Look in the camera and say,
look, let me explain something to you. I'm not scared to say nothing.
I know that shit.
I'll say it.
No, don't say it. No. Don't say it.
They can't AI farm me now.
Right.
Oh my. You know, a part of me wants to think like, you're gonna sit in the parking lot for 5 hours. Like, everyone that's asked about those parties, I left before 10 o'clock. I don't know. I was in the parking lot. I didn't even go up. I just sat in the parking lot and saw people, right? Everyone says these things about that. But one part of me that believes them is that his career, they have been bashing him. He's my favorite, right? If I watch comedy, like, he's one of my favorites, y'all. Cat Williams. He's a beast, right? So he should be at a level, but he didn't get down with the get down. And that's why his career kind of didn't, it took off for a little bit. And it's like they offered him those doors and he said no, crashed, fighting kids at Target, on drugs, like all these things. He said he's been arrested so many times, or he's been to court so many times, but never got arrested once, right? Like, they've been beating the hell out of wrestling kids outside of apartments, slapping Target workers, like so much constant turmoil with his career. It's like he saw what was behind the door. He was up here. He said no. He went down, and his loyal fans kept him at a plateau, right? So a part of me believes it. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, y'all. I made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. If you guys want, it's Friday night. Hit that playlist that's gonna pop up over here. Go down the rabbit hole. Throw my second channel over here for you guys. Later.